Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about Quantum Break. But before we get into this video, obviously I'm going to have to say it. I know this Final Fantasy 15 gameplay. I know this is being uploaded from the PlayStation 4. But I recorded a ton of footage from Quantum Break, but it was set to 30 seconds and not 5 minutes in recording. So basically, I only had about 5 minutes of gameplay, which left my review being very short and to the point. Even though you get the general point, I felt it was very, I didn't get what I wanted to say. So I moved it over to the PlayStation where I have a little bit more space to breathe in the old review space or whatever. But yeah, let's get into this game. So, and before anyone says it, I know people are going to be like, "You didn't beat the game. You don't even have an Xbox or whatever." So I'm going to give you my account. I know a lot of people will trust my opinion. A lot of you who may be watching this video come to me for reviews or opinions or whatever because you trust my opinion. But make sure to go check me out on Xbox One or whatever, Xbox Live or whatever. Eminem Gaming, YT, no capitals, all lowercase, all one word. Make sure to go check that out. Obviously, if you don't believe it, if you want to check my old achievements, my achievements and the trophies are always unlocked for anyone to see. So yeah, yeah, let's get into this. So for me, the first thing you'll notice is this is a very beautiful game. Very realistic cutscenes, I will say. The gameplay, outside the cutscenes, you can tell it's not as good looking. In my humble opinion, it doesn't look quite as good. You can definitely see some like the textures and stuff, pop in and out and stuff. That's what I noticed. Which isn't a huge bad thing. It doesn't really bother me too much, but it's just something I noticed while playing it. You can tell a big difference from the cutscene to the in-game. That's just me though. That's what I noticed. But yeah, the cutscenes are absolutely beautiful. It has some really awesome actors in it. Now I'm not, I don't really watch TV. I'm too busy gaming. So apparently they're really famous. But all I know, they were really talented actors. The bad guys, the good guys, everyone in that game played their role perfectly. They acted it out well. And yeah, I think, in general, I think they did a very good job, in my opinion, in their acting. I think they definitely kept you on the edge of your seat, which was, I thought was awesome. I think there were some really tense moments in that game, and the characters or whatever, the actors or whatever, definitely, made it really intense, in my opinion. Now, I will just say there are live action cutscenes after like the main game. After every act, there's a cutscene like from the villain's perspective. Now that was very cool. I love that. I love it when they kind of like flip the whole what we expect on its head. From and what we expect just to hear the good guy side, but they flipped it and like, here's the bad guy side. I thought that was really cool, and I got to give big shout out to Remedy for doing that. I really like that little touch they did. But I will say now, again, I've said I have terrible internet. I tried downloading the 75 gigabyte patch, but it took so long to download. But by the time that I was playing the game, it wasn't downloaded, so I had to stream it from the internet, and that wasn't very good for me because obviously I was having a ton of stuttering, and it really affected my experience. Again, you may say that's my fault for having bad internet and not waiting to play the game, but at the end of the day, I just feel like, I'm not going to be the only one in the world who has bad internet. I can guarantee you that. So I think maybe Remedy or whatever should have put that into consideration, that, a 75 gigabyte patch is going to take quite a long time for someone like myself to download, and yeah, it wasn't obviously downloaded in time, so I definitely struggled with watching the live action. I'm going to be honest, it was real tough to do, but nonetheless, I got through it. But yeah, The story was really cool. It's just it was a bit strange, having this like TV integration. Maybe it's just me fussing or whatever. But I'm not big on the old TV game mixture thing. I'm not too sure. I think it would have been really cool as a TV show on Netflix or something, but I don't want to play that, in my opinion or whatever. But it is what it is. Um, I love, though, the interesting story. It definitely has an interesting story to it. There's a lot of, I guess, mind fuckery going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing through this game, and like, there's a lot of twists and turns. So that's really cool. Definitely an interesting plot going on, and a lot of cool powers. You get a lot of like different time things, so you can like run while time's slowed down, jump, punch people in the face. That's awesome. You can charge up your time blast and just throw it at people. You can, stop people and then load a full clip into their head and stuff. As well as there's like little things around the map which you can use as upgrades. I never really used it that much. Obviously, I did, obviously find some, but I didn't use it that much. I didn't find the game that difficult. Maybe it was because I was on normal, probably, but I didn't find them that useful. I upgraded about 3 of them. I don't think I noticed that much of a difference. Um, I will also say the big set pieces, they put you in situations that other games just simply can't because of the way the game's set up, this time travel sort of thing. Other games just simply could not put you on a bridge or whatever, collapsing, and jumping from point to point. So I've got to say, that was awesome. But while that sort of combat with the powers and everything is a very strong point for the game, it's also the core fundamentals of the game aren't there. And that's just my opinion. The gunplay is not very good in the game, and also the traversal sort of platforming is not great in particular either. Now, it's a lot better than the gunplay, but that's not saying much. The gunplay feels very... You feel very uptight when you're shooting. It doesn't feel very fluid, you don't feel like, very fluid, like it was based around the shooting mechanic. It felt very last gen, and I say a lot of games, for example, let's just say Final Fantasy 15. It's an open world RPG, but I felt like it's a new generation of it. I felt that they'd improved. I didn't really feel that with Quantum Break. I didn't feel like this had improved massively from Alan Wake, for example. Okay, in looks, but the core mechanics of the game, they haven't really changed. You know what I'm saying? It was still a very uptight sort of gameplay, a gunplay, sorry. And yeah, I didn't like that. And this is a big sin from a third-person shooter, in my opinion. You can't shoot in cover. That's right, you cannot shoot in cover. So when there's about 5 big armoured enemies with shotguns who can 2 or 3 shot you, you have to use your time power. And you might say, oh well, Remedy did that just to make you move around and put more difficulty. But it's a third-person shooter. There should be, there's cover as well. So it's a cover third-person shooter. There's not like there's no cover. There is. So why can't I shoot behind it? It makes absolutely no sense. I can shoot a blast and knock someone 3 miles, but I cannot shoot from behind cover. It's crazy, and I know that they did that to sort of, use your powers more, and I respect that and I understand that. But at the same time, that shouldn't be your focus. It should be the main core gameplay, as well as the traversal, like I said, the platforming. It's not the most solid platforming. It's not the worst. It's not the most solid though. And when you're trying to time stuff as well on top of it, it can get very frustrating when you don't have a very solid basis of, platforming to build on. And yeah, that definitely for me was a problem. That being said, the final boss in the game, now there was a lot of, clear this area out, move on, clear this area out, move on. But I will say, the final boss in that game was absolutely awesome. Perfect in my opinion. It was difficult. You had plenty of enemies, so you couldn't just stay in one spot. It was difficult. It was you had to use your mind. You had to be aware of your surroundings. You had to, be sharp and quick on your feet. That was, even though it was challenging, the most fun I had in the whole game was the final boss fight. Now I'm not going to spoil it and say who it's with or what it's about or whatever, but all I'm saying is the final actual boss fight I thought was awesome. In the game. Yeah, and I just thought that was a real highlight for me personally of the whole game. Now, let's talk about the the length of the game. Now, I've got to spend. Now, I wouldn't time myself. I'm not a speedrunner or anything. It's got to be no more than 7 hours. I mean, I can't imagine it being much longer than that. Maybe 8 at max, but it's not a very long game. And if you're not big into your achievements, you're not big into trophy hunting or collecting, there is really no reason to go back. Although you can affect the middle part of the game, which again, really, you kind of can witness it anyway. You know what I'm saying? You can see what's going to happen anyway, without picking that solution. If you can obviously go back, but there's no real reason to go through the game again. Again, there's chapter select if you wanted to do it just for the trophies, but achievements, sorry, but there is real no reason to go back into that game. And that's sad, it gives you no new difficulty. If you beat hard, it's crushing, or if multiplayer, there was literally no reason to go back, the ending is the same no matter how you do the middle. So really, there's no point in doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit, annoying to me, and obviously knocks off in the replay value. But all that being said, there's plenty of positives, there's plenty of negatives, and there's plenty of stuff where it's kind of like, meh. Do you know what I mean? But overall, how would I rate this game? Now, I know I've said a lot of maybe negative stuff, and you may expect, with my normal reviews, I take off scores. But for me, this is a very solid game. This is a very solid game, gameplay and stuff. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's good, it's solid, but it's not quite. It lets you down in a lot of key aspects in the game. Length, the way the gameplay is the gunplay, sorry, the traversal. Yeah, there's a little replay value. A lot of stuff is a real letdown to me personally. That being said, there's a lot of basis that Remedy could build a great series of this from, I feel, if they wanted to. I think Remedy definitely could, maybe make Quantum Break 2 or 3 or whatever, after this. They could definitely build a basis of this. It'd be a fantastic TV show. I know that doesn't really, make us gamers that happy, but it could be definitely an amazing TV show, which I think would, rival things like The Walking Dead or whatever, because the TV show aspect was really awesome in my opinion, and the story is really awesome. It's the gameplay that is the problem, and you have to judge the gameplay in a game. This is a game, and it's not a TV show. But overall, yeah, like I say, 7 out of 10. That for me is a solid game. It's not a great game. It's not a bad game. It's just a solid, average game. Do you know what I mean? To me, personally. It could have been lower on another day, but for me, I just, I think Remedy definitely tried to experiment, and that maybe knocked the score up a little bit, in my opinion. Now, is it worth the £45-50 day one purchase? In my opinion, absolutely not. Even with Alan Wake and the Windows 10 version and all that, which I haven't received yet, which I'm very annoyed at. I should have my Alan Wake Xbox One version. I don't have it. Do you know what I mean? What's going on, Microsoft? I should have my PC version or soon. So we're going to see, but I should get both of them very soon, and I'm not very happy about that. I had the Alan Wake sort of thing, the DLC or whatever, but I ain't had the main game, which is very frustrating to me personally. But it's, if you have a rental service, I would rent it. if you've got an Xbox One. I certainly wouldn't buy an Xbox One for this game, but if you have a rental service and you've got an Xbox One, definitely rent it. You'll probably beat it in a day or two. If you also, what I was going to say, if you wait until the holiday season, it may be £10, £15, and that's definitely a steal. You'll definitely have an experience with it, in my opinion. So, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this at the price it is, but if you can get it cheap, obviously PC guys, they get like CD keys and all that sort of stuff. If you can get it cheap, make sure you do. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, this has been M&M Gaming. If you did like the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already, if you like this sort of content or any other content that is on my channel. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you in a new video very soon.